In this tutorial, we are going to create this wooden bridge. This wooden bridge consists of the ground, the columns that carry this bridge, the rail bars, and the shed. We are going to build these objects in a moment. If you look closer to the bridge, we find that the ground of the bridge is rectangular in shape and it ends with a hexagon. And if we look to the bars, we find them outlining this ground. And if we look to the columns, we'll find them getting longer so that they carry the shed. And of course, as we can see, that the shed is hexagonal in shape. So we have to put these in mind before modeling. Let's start by building the ground of the bridge. So make sure that you are in the Create panel. Click the Shapes, Rectangle, and in the top view, click and drag to create rectangle whose length is 6. And type the width 30. Since we are dealing with the 2D shape, so it's a good idea to maximize the top view by clicking the Maximize Viewport toggle. Zoom in. We want to move this rectangle to the 0, 0 point, so click the Select and Move tool. Right mouse click the spinners to change the values to 0. If you remember earlier, the ground consists of rectangular shape ending with a hexagon shape. So let's create the hexagon shape now. Uncheck the Start New Shape so that the hexagon would belong to the rectangle. Click the Angle button. Now we are going to create the hexagon using the keyboard entry. So expand the keyboard entry rollout and type in the X value 20 and the radius 6. Hit the Create button. Now we want to rotate the hexagon. So if we click the Select and Rotate tool and try to rotate the hexagon, we find that the whole object is going to rotate because the rectangle and hexagon now belongs to the same shape. So click the Undo button and then go to the Modify panel and expand the editable spline. Go to the spline level, select the hexagon or the angle, and then make sure that the Angle Snap toggle is on, and then rotate the angle minus 30 degrees in the Z. Now we want to connect these two splines together, the angle and the rectangle. And in order to do this, we have to delete both segments here. So go to the segment level and click the two segments and delete them. And then make sure that the automatic welding is on. And go to the spline level once again. And then move the spline, the angle. Since the automatic welding is on, as we mentioned earlier, both vertices automatically welded. Let's find out how we are going to deal with this bridge if it ends with an 8-sided polygon. So go to the Create panel and then click the Rectangle button. Click and drag to create a rectangle whose length is 6 and width 30. And then click the Select and Move button. And in the X, right click the spinners to change the value to 0. And in the Y value, type 15. Pen so that you can see the rectangle. Uncheck the Start New Shape. Click the Angle button. Expand the keyboard entry. And in the X value, type 20. Y type 15. Radius type 6. And then since we want to create an octagon, so type in the number of sides, type 8, and then click the Create button. Go to the Modify panel, expand the editable spline, go to the spline level, select the octagon. Now we want to rotate this 8-sided polygon with an angle equals to 180 divided by the number of its sides. So click the select and rotate, and with right mouse click, type in the Z value 22.5 and hit enter. Now it is correctly oriented. Now we want to make the angle and the rectangle a single spline. We are not going to connect them by deleting the opposed segments as we did with the hexagonal shape. This is because the two opposed segments are not equal. Besides, having two overlapping splines encourages to use a 2D Boolean operation. So make sure that you are still selecting the angle and you are in the spline level, and go to the Boolean, make sure that it's union, and then click the Boolean button and click to select the rectangle spline. Now they became single spline. Go back to the object level and press delete in your keyboard to delete the octagonal bridge. Select our old hexagonal shape